Right guys, welcome back to the channel. I think that on my TikTok, one of the most asked questions I get is how can you work out, or how do you exercise? How do you keep fit? How do you have a fitness regime if you have fibromyalgia? Okay, so there's a few things I want to explain first. First of all, I want to say, if I can do it, you can do it. Anyone can do it. I've had people on my TikTok tell me that they was too scared to exercise. They didn't want to exercise, they couldn't exercise, all the above, and now a few of the same ones are telling me that I have encouraged them to go and do some fitness, and they're starting to build up their fitness levels. Okay, so I want to say that I have been training for 16 years, so I train mainly in the gym to do with muscle weighted exercise. This is not what you have to do, okay? You can do any kind of fitness. You can do walking, you can do cycling, you can do movements in your house that just raise your cardiovascular and will get you that little bit fitter. But I want to say that I have been doing fitness. I'm out of breath, guys, because I've literally just left the gym and it's inspired me to do this video. I want to say that I've been doing gym for about 16 years, give or take. And I've had fibromyalgia for coming up to 8 years. So I want to say that obviously before fibromyalgia, the gym was a walk in the park for me. I loved it. It changed my life, and it was literally my life every single day. Since getting fibromyalgia and the further I get into fibromyalgia, it is getting tougher and tougher. However, I'm trying to counteract that. I'm trying to be productive. I'm trying to not let it beat me. I won't let it beat me. Not trying, I will not let it beat me. And this should be your mindset as well. Obviously, I understand that there is different circumstances. But getting into the video and how you can get fit, or you can exercise, or just get a structural regime in your life with fibromyalgia. I want to say that the reason that it was easier for me is because I didn't start my journey on fitness with fibromyalgia. So there's a lot of people out there that say, I want to start my fitness with my journey with fitness, but I'm scared because I've got fibromyalgia. And some of them told me they've never worked out before. So first of all, I want to say that obviously my journey was easier in that respect, that my body was accustomed to the gym, accustomed to that daily regime routine. Obviously it got more difficult, but I knew what to expect in how my body reacted to fitness and weights, etc. So what I want to say is, you are effectively starting in the same boat as everybody else, but a little bit more difficult. Well, a lot more difficult with fibromyalgia. But what I mean by this is that if you go to the gym for the first time and you haven't got fibromyalgia, it takes a lot of effort. You are going to be in pain anyway. Okay, no, not you with fibromyalgia. A regular person without any chronic pain condition is going to go to the gym and they're going to have a thing called DOMS, which is delayed onset muscle soreness. So you will go to the gym or you will exercise and run, and because their muscles haven't been used in a very long time, you are going to feel pain the next day, 2 days later, 3 days later, sometimes up to a week. For us, it's going to be more difficult because we're going to feel them intensified and we're going to feel them for a little longer. But the big but is, do not let this put you off. So people say to me, how can you do this with fibromyalgia, etc, etc. Listen, I can be on holiday in the sun, kicking back on the lounger, doing nothing, drinking pina coladas, and I will have a flare the next day that could last me the whole of my holiday. Or I could be at home with my feet up, having a bank holiday, and the next day I can have a flare that will last me however long from doing nothing. Or I could go to the gym and it can set me into a flare. Or I can go to the gym and I might not have a flare. So I'm not going to sit around and think, what if I have a flare? Because I can never tell when I'm going to have a flare. I can have a flare from absolutely anything and everything. So I might as well take the steps to try and keep myself as fit as I can and keep my heart fit, give myself some structure, some routine, and give my mental health, my mental wellness a good seeing to. Keep it active, keep myself active, and keep my mind away from the things I don't want to think about. So that is my point of view from where I come from. And I want to say to you guys that whether you are on crutches, whether you have a walking aid, we can do things that can keep us active. I want to say to you that no matter your position or what you are going through, you need to adapt your regime to you. So obviously I understand if you're in a wheelchair or a walking aid, you can't do certain exercises, but there will be alternatives. And there is lots and lots of information out there. I want to say that no matter what, my biggest advice would be you have to start off slow, okay? So my first bit of advice is you have to start off slow. Don't go in on a low pain day and go all guns blazing, because your body's just going to think, what's going on? And you're going to feel pain like a normal person. And on top, you're going to have your fibro pains. You could send you into a flare, and you might say, do you know what? This is not for me. I'm not doing this no more. And that is something that I do not want. I want you guys to carry on this journey. So slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. Take it in small increments. Just take it day by day. Don't beat yourself up is the next bit of advice I would give you. If there is a day where it is your low pain day and it is your day to, or you wanted it to be a low pain day and it was your day to go to the gym or go walking around the park or walk the dog for an extra time or whatever, but you're on a high pain day, do not kick yourself. There will always be tomorrow or the next day. So do not stress yourself out. My next bit of advice would be to rest. So take your rest days. Make sure you don't overdo it. Like I say, slow and steady wins the race. I keep saying wins the race. Take it slow, take it steady, and you will soon see that you start to build on whatever you do. Maybe one day you could do a 2-minute walk and then you was in pain. Then the next day you could do a 3-minute walk. The body is amazing. If the body can do this to us, then the body can adapt to what we want it to do. My last bit of advice would be to take your low pain days as a win. But there's a very fine balance with this. So I like to take my low pain days as wins. Okay, so I want to say that that when I am on, this is only my experience, but when I'm on a high pain day, there's no way I can do anything. Nothing. There's no way I can go to the gym. There's just no way. I can't even get into the car to go and drive. I can't function properly. I'm in too much pain. Sometimes my eyes don't even want to open. They're in pain. But when I'm on a low pain day and my fatigue is crazy, I can drag myself out and I can do some exercise, and sometimes it actually breaks my fatigue, which is a very, very strange one, but it does. So that's my experience. So now on my low pain days with fatigue, I treat them as a win, and I go. So my last bit of advice would be, leading on from that, take your low pain days as wins. That is my biggest bit of advice, I'd say. Take your low pain days as wins, but very, very fine line, a fine balance between taking them as wins and going over the top and setting yourself into a flare. I would say them win days, you just need to stick to structure. Don't think, do you know what, I feel really good today, I haven't felt like this in a long time, I'm gonna go extra hard. No, just pace yourself, be patient, and it will come. So So in regards to why training, I believe, is so important, not just for the normal person, but for people with fibromyalgia, is because, as you may well know, that after you finish training, you can have an increased level of endorphins in your body, which is a chemical release, and it does make you feel good. And there might be something in that in regards to our CNS problems. Also adrenaline, maybe cortisol levels, something along them lines. So it's definitely good, not only just for the normal regular person without a chronic pain condition, but it can be just as good, if not better, for somebody in our position with a chronic pain condition. I hope you take this bit of information, and always ask someone who is a personal trainer if you're not sure, or if you're not 100% sure, ask your doctor before taking part in any training or physical activity. If you have something like a heart problem or something along them lines, just make sure you get a bit of advice. So this is just my personal experience, this is what I believe, but please go and get advice from a medical professional or a personal trainer first. I wish you luck on your journey, and please let me know in the comments below if you've already started your journey, and if you haven't and I've inspired you, please do let me know. Guys, I hope you're having a low pain day and your fibro flare-ups are at bay.